there is a mass shooting, or was a mass shooting in the Dadeville, Alabama area. That mass shooting is reportedly with 20 people shot, potentially 5 to 6 dead. The reason why this video is so bad is because I am literally live streaming to you guys from my airplane. I am in the air on a 737 right now, heading from Indianapolis, Indiana to Dallas, Texas. So that's the reason for the really crappy video. I'm only putting this out to let you guys know that there was a mass shooting about 7 or 8 hours ago. Again, in that Dadeville area. Dadeville is, yeah, sorry. I might jump back over here, guys. I think the reason why the audio is so bad is because, I don't know if this is any better. I'm holding the mic closer to my mouth. I'm in an airplane, so what you're hearing is noise from the actual flight of the airplane itself. And the reason why you can't see anything is because we're stuck on this airplane. I'm in flight from Indianapolis to Texas right now. I'm just putting this out there that there has been a mass shooting, and that's in the Dadeville area, about 40 miles northeast of Montgomery, Alabama. So again, I apologize for the poor audio and video, but I'm on an airplane and just trying to put this out so that we have some information out there. There are some vague reports right now, and it's kind of odd that nothing official has come out yet. If you go look at the news agencies, all they're talking about is a shooting in Dadeville. They're not talking about any specifics. There's not been a single press release, nothing at all about this. So very unusual that we are almost 8 hours outside of a shooting. This allegedly is a Sweet 16 birthday party, I believe. And they're supposedly all teenagers. And there's a report of an altercation that took place. And immediately following the altercation, they're saying that as many as 20 people were shot, with reports of 5 or 6 dead, but I can't confirm that. I just know that I've seen a picture, and I can't get to it because I'm literally streaming this from my cell phone right now on an airplane flying from Indianapolis to Texas right now. So that's why the audio and video is so crappy, is that I'm at the mercy of whatever their signal is here on the airplane. I'm just trying to get this out. I've never live streamed from an airplane before, so I know the quality of it's going to be garbage. But since there's so little information out on this, I felt like I wanted to go live so people would know that something was happening. There's reports, and it looks like everybody's sharing the same report right now. The reports that I'm seeing, again, to repeat, in the Dadeville area, which is about 40 miles northeast of Montgomery, Alabama, there was a Sweet 16 party about 8 hours ago, and there are local reports of an altercation that took place. Immediately following the altercation, there was a shooting. It sounds like a shootout. From what I saw in one of the pictures, there was a Glock with an extended magazine. That's usually indicative of a gang-related shooting. Just telling you that it's not uncommon to have that at a gang-related shooting. And the reports I heard also was that this area, the Dadeville area, only has 14 law enforcement officers on the department. So that's probably a partial reason why so much of the data is slow coming out, because they just don't have the people to respond. I'm sure their forensics is taking a little bit longer too, because they're having to come from the county of the state of Alabama. So That's probably why you're dealing with a lot of this right now. It looks like I might have just lost my live stream. Uh, Again, I'm in flight right now on a 737 from Indiana to Texas, so that's why the video and audio is kind of crappy. I apologize for that. My main goal was to get this out and to make sure that everybody knew what was going on, because it's very weird that this has happened 8 hours ago and we have so little information. We talk about this a lot on these live streams whenever there's some kind of a rampage killing, that usually the information comes out relatively fast from boots on the ground. But whenever we're dealing with a really small community like this, I think what's happening is we have, no news agencies local, and we have to realize this was also late Saturday night. So a lot of these people were not at work. So I think that's what we're dealing with here is just a small community, slow reaction time, and a lack of information, because the police department is very small, meaning they probably are having to get forensics from the county or the state of Alabama. And just to reiterate, excuse me, guys, I am on an airplane from Indianapolis to Texas. That's why the audio and video is a little bit crappy. Mainly just wanted to get this out there so everybody kind of knows what's going on. Obviously, if you're flying in an airplane, the background noise is pretty loud, so that's why you hear a lot of white noise and fuzz and background noise, because it's obviously two big giant jet engines on this thing. But again, Dadeville, Alabama, mass shooting. At this point, they are reporting 20 shot, or at least 20 injured. I can't confirm that all 20 were shot. A lot of cases when there's a big room like this, a lot of people are going to stampede out. So 20 injured, not necessarily shot. Various reports saying 5 to 6 people are dead. I cannot confirm that. I saw one report earlier that said 1 dead, but I think things have moved on beyond that now. So looking like that 5 or 6 is probably more likely. There are some, I forget the guy's name, a guy named Steve, but I forget what his YouTube channel is. He's streaming it live right now. He's got some pretty good information on it. I don't know his exact channel name, but if you were to search on YouTube for Dadeville mass shooting, you probably will find his channel. I certainly don't mind pointing you guys to his channel, because he's doing some pretty good coverage right now. That's how I found out about this while I was on my airplane here. It looks like we're about 20 or 30 minutes away from landing in Dallas, Texas on this airplane. So I'll be cutting this live stream shortly, but mainly just wanted to put this out there. And again, my apologies for the quality of video and audio. This is more than anything just kind of a heads up that something is going on down in Alabama, but there's very, very little information coming out. Very little. So you probably got to dig for it. I would guess that as all these news agencies wake up, you're probably going to start seeing a little bit more information trickling out, because they'll probably send people to the location, and a lot of people will probably start to question the local authorities down there. Again, very small community, so that's probably playing into it as well. So hopefully, guys, you're having a good Sunday morning. Unfortunately, some people in Alabama are not. If you're familiar with the Alabama area where this is from, it's not really the best area either. Dadeville is not necessarily in Montgomery. It's outside of it by about 40 minutes. But that Montgomery area it's kind of a dump down there. So I can't imagine Dadeville is much better. Very, very odd, very slow moving news story right now as far as information that's coming out. I would say definitely we want to pray for the families involved. Very sad that this happened at a Sweet 16 birthday party. But again, just to recap, about 8 hours ago at a Sweet 16 birthday party in Dadeville, Alabama, there was an altercation, shots rang out. There are reports of as many as 20 people shot or injured. And last I saw was that potentially 6 people were dead. and they're very likely to be young people since this was a Sweet 16 birthday party. And the slowness of the news coming out is pretty revealing and indicative of a small community with very little law enforcement and emergency people and very few news people on the ground down there. So they're probably going to see, again, as day breaks, more of the bigger news agencies probably send folks down there to try to cover this. So that's why you're seeing a lack of coverage more than likely right now. It's just it's not a place where a bunch of people would already be. Guys, I'm going to sign off of here. I will try to pop back on here, but again, the reason why my audio and video is so bad is I'm on a 737 flying from Indianapolis to Dallas, Texas right now. So I'm going to cut this feed. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Have a good Sunday. I'll be back on in a little while, guys. Thanks, folks.